Thank you for coming to Compass Starlight. This is going to be a weekend reading. Today's decks are the Mantegna deck in my hand, a deck of oracle cards. What kind of energies can we emulate? Where can we strive to focus our attention for the weekend ahead? The next deck we have is the Starseed Oracle, and then that is followed by the Neon Rider Tarot. This is too many cards, but I will take this top one. So far we have Philosophy, we have the Moon, cards number 28 and 41. And the Emperor, card number 9. It has been a hot week. It has been steamy, quiet, with some thunderstorms. I'm concerned about the water quality. I'm considering moving on from this location for the health and safety of my pets, first and foremost. What kind of oracle message can we get today for this weekend? Earth flipped out, and the Seas of Mintaka. Animals, more early. Nothing new. Had the curtains drawn a lot, the blinds, because of the heat and the sun. I did meet a neighbor though the other day. Talked about the water quality. There is air conditioning in the house. It doesn't bother me as much, as long as the cats are okay. What other messages do we have for this weekend reading? Oops. So 1 or 2 more cards, please. Thank you. Let me just meditate on this for a moment here. See what feels right. I do feel that this is the way the reading goes. Alright, so we have Philosophy, card number 28 from the Mantegna Tarot. We have Luna, card number 41. We have the Emperor, card number 9. And then for the Oracle cards, we have Earthed, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. And then the Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. For the Tarot here from the Neon Rider Tarot, we have the Page of Pentacles, Judgment. We have the Three of Wands, followed by the Tower, the Five of Coins, and the Two of Cups. From this tarot, what I get, Page of Pentacles, a stable offer, an offer of stability, of material stability, perchance of material growth or the beginnings of such, followed by Judgment. What do you do with that potential? What do you do with that material potential? How do you seize the day with that Three of Wands? How are you going to take charge of that newfound stability? How are you going to expand it on the horizon? How are you going to make it grow? Followed by the Tower. It's a wake-up call, a shaking of the foundation. Anything unstable, anything not for you must go. Wake up to that which is no longer working. Wake up to that which is for you. Wake up to your path, which is along the Five of Pentacles. Cast out, feeling cast out in the cold, outside the confines of the structures and stability of traditional norms, wandering outside the accepted traditions, stepping outside of your comfort zone, refusing to go into the establishment, the protection of the system. How are you evading the system? It's not to say it's something that's done with spite. It's merely a recognition that what you seek is not found in there. It's not found in the church. It's not found in the structures and systems of traditional society and culture. Followed by the Two of Cups, a sense of balance, a sense of achievement, good standing, good health, balance and clarity in mind and spirit, balance that allows you to make equal and forthright exchange. I feel like that's a really odd word to use there, forthright exchange. But I suppose what I mean by that is upfront and honest, transparent exchange, transparent interaction. Nothing shady, nothing hidden, nothing clandestine. Everything is upfront. This is that feeling of satisfaction and achievement of self. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. Here you meet me. You choose to meet me halfway. And that is where the energy exchange occurs. But it takes this treachery. It takes this treacherous walk. It takes the acknowledgement that drastic changes need to be made, and that you have to be willing to step outside of the confines of what is expected of you in order to forge your own path and to get here. With the card Judgment, we often think in terms of a more worldly perspective, but in this particular reading I am seeing it also to be inclusive of using your own judgment. This is to say, if you receive an offer of stability, you'll be required to utilize your own judgment to see how to take that material profit, that material stability forward in the best possible way to suit you. And only you may know the answer to that. Only you may know how that offer of stability will serve you best. Imagine, for example, that someone gives a gift of a scratch-it ticket, a lottery ticket, and it's a winner. it doesn't even matter how much the winning total, but now you have assets that you didn't before. What would you do with that money? How would you utilize those funds? Only you can say how that money would suit you best, where you would invest it. That is the judgment. How can you utilize it to bring yourself out into the horizons? The only question I have here is if you take this blessing of financial or material support and utilize it in a way to help you move forward, for you to seize the day, for you to expand your horizons, go travel, and so forth. My question is the tower then the restructuring that is required for you in order to move out on that horizon? Or is it the impact your choices have on others? And if it is an impact on others, it could change their opinion. It could cause them to have judgment and kind of cast you out in the cold. And so be it, if it means that you have an achievement, something that gives you a sense of satisfaction, balance, and achievement. Is it worth this path? Let's take a look at these Mantegna Tarot cards here. Philosophy is the archetype for investigation. Observe the situation from many points of view. I find that to be in alignment with at least these first three cards. Observe the situation. Here you have an opportunity to move forward in your material world. Examine the possibilities and then make your judgment. Here, this could be a representation of those many points of view. If this protagonist here stood next to each one of these different wands, the protagonist would then have a different view, a different perspective. How can you choose what direction is best for you to move forward without spending some time considering the options, without spending some time investigating, without spending time observing the situation from many points of view? Next, we have the card Luna, card number 41. Imagination. Analyze dreams to discover yourself. If you dream of a future somewhere out there on the horizon, something that seems intangible, something that seems as if it is only a dream, how can you bring that into your reality? If you can analyze these dreams, we had this card come up recently in one of the last 3 readings. If you can analyze those dreams and figure out what it is that you absolutely need and what it is, if you can consider all that you might need and that which you may not need, that can help you analyze and figure out how to bring your dreams into reality. It just goes in alignment here, hand in hand with analyzing things from a different point of view. Again, this is an assessment of details that are necessary for you to feel comfortable, necessary for you to live day by day. So if you receive a material opportunity, perhaps funding, something that can help you move forward, something that can help you make a choice in the direction you're moving forward, what are the details that are necessary for you to move forward and to feel comfortable. The things that you have to let go of are possibly drastic, but there are going to be some essentials, and that's part of your own judgment. That is part of your own judgment, and that's going to be part of the analyzation of your dreams. Because if you're considering your dreams and how can you reach your goals, how can I make these dreams a reality, what do I need, that's going to be up to you. With the Emperor here, card number 9, this is the archetype for initiative. Excessive power sometimes enslaves. It's going to be up to you to take the initiative on your path. It's going to be up to you to make this change, to reroute this change that may leave you out in the cold. Now, is it going to leave you out in the cold because due to use of excessive power? That's not really what I'm getting here. What I am seeing is just that your decisions may cast you out in the cold. Excessive use of power sometimes enslaves. Sometimes the confines and structures of society, of establishments, can make us feel enslaved. This is taking your own fate in your hands. This is carrying yourself forward to remove yourself from being enslaved. So if the Emperor can be seen as an entity that enslaves others with excessive power, you're being asked to take that control over your own life. The control, the sensibility. I mean, the Emperor is a culmination of all kings. The Emperor sees over his entire empire, and granted, he possibly does that with the assistance of the kings and throughout the kingdom, but he has the ultimate say over decisions that are made. So you're being asked to take that position of Emperor over your own life. Be logical in your research. Be logical in the steps that you're taking. Be practical and pragmatic. Have initiative. Be willing to take action and follow through. Have self-control and balance within. Consider how you're a mirror to the world around you when you interact with others. He's gazing into this crystal ball, this sphere. What is this red planet? The spheres in this card usually indicate symbolism for a planet. I mean, the Emperor is typically associated with the planet Mars. But he's looking into a crystal ball, and he is trying to assess his future. How can he best move forward in the future? How can he carry his empire forward for the best possible outcome? That's a position you're being asked to take. But yes, it is sort of pinkish hue, the red planet, again associated with Mars, and Mars is associated with impetus, enthusiasm, action, initiation. So let those characteristics guide you as you move forward. And finally, here we have the cards from the Starseed Oracle, which I will read aloud. Learning how to be human in the world but not of it. The challenge for all souls having a human experience is to be in the world but not of it. To realize they are souls having a human experience and be fully conscious of it. To have their soul fully embody their body. People's personalities tend to relate to either transcendence or immanence. Those who lean toward transcendence have a longing for the heavens and the metaphysical. They yearn for a personal experience with God and to be lost in the heavens. They're envious of the angels and are more comfortable praying and hanging out in the stars than on earth. Those who tend toward immanence have attached themselves more to earth and their body. They spend more time thinking about things in this physical world rather than connecting with the heavens or their own mystical inner worlds. Being a fully embodied soul having a human experience means finding the balance between transcendence and immanence, being in the world but not of it. Most starseeds are drawn toward transcendence. They're more comfortable with the angels and the heavens. Life on earth can be more difficult for them. If this is you, you're being reminded that you chose to be a soul in a body on earth, and you're being called to focus more of your energies in the physical world, to learn how to be human, a soul in a human body, fully present to what life on earth has to offer you. Do you tend to long for the stars or be more in the physical? How can you find greater balance between the two? Yes, as I was reading this, I was picking up on that feature. Balance. How can you balance both worlds? This suggests that connection with the heavens. Being stuck in the physical and wanting to reach out to the horizons because there are so many other things that are afforded to us in life, and yet we're living day by day according to schedules and plans and all of these structures. We're being asked to break out of that, to pursue something else, to connect with others from the spiritual point of view. Not necessarily in the confines of the church, because again, that's the structure. That is like the everyday toil, the rote that we learn in school. We're being asked to break out of that and kind of find a balance between floating through our days, connecting with spirit, but connecting that on the earthly plane with dreams and ambitions that we have, things that we could experience on this earthly plane. So how can you bring those two things together? How can you find that balance? The general read here is to figure out what's best for you with the material opportunities that are before you, to cut down to bare minimum what you absolutely need and tear away the rest, and take that forward on your path, on your journey, even if it means stepping outside the confines of tradition, so that you can find the balance, that balance between the spiritual and the earthly plane, the balance between the satisfaction and enjoyment of the earthly plane and how it can connect you to the heavens, how it can make you feel more light and joyful. And as well, the same thing goes for relationships. How can those relationships, when you share your cup with someone else, give you a sense of deep connection that almost feels like it's beyond the earthly plane? The Seas of Mintaka is the second card from this Starseed Oracle. Seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Yes. Mintaka is thought to have been a water-based planet containing the most crystal clear waters. Yeah, speaking of waters and keeping your water clean. Oh, crystal clear waters you could ever imagine, so clear that you could see for miles and miles underwater. The Seas of Mintaka card represents this crystalline clarity of potential and possibility. It's about the ability and choice to see the potential in all people and situations. This could be one of your natural traits, or it could be a sign that what you're currently doing has great potential. Mintakans are thought to have been a galactic race who saw the light in everything and everyone. You may have received this card as confirmation that a situation or project has extreme potential and will reach fruition. If it appears in a spread, it's a very positive sign that things are working out for the highest potential of all involved. It's a very uplifting, light-filled card that brings great harmony, contentment, and positive outcomes. Thank you for that. That's one thing I was praying on before initiating the video. According to Carl Jung, that which we do not bring to consciousness appears in our life as fate. When water appears in dreams and art, it often represents the unconscious mind. Pulling this card also means you may be called to bring to light any unconscious patterns of which you're unaware, to look at them and see them clearly and consciously so they don't appear in your life as fate. What unconscious patterns or behaviors are ready to be brought to the light of day? How can you see the potential in a situation you're facing? What unconscious patterns are you being called to bring to light? Now, with the Tower card here, oftentimes this is a surprise. It can often be seen in a negative light, but really it's meant for our greatest good. This could be a representation of those patterns of which we are unaware, and how can they impact us when we are not suspecting, when we are unsuspecting. This is not only patterns we have that can appear, but this is that unconscious fate that could potentially appear. So the goal here is to advance, dismantle the tower, and rebuild something stronger before it actually comes crumbling down, because it's not sound structure, because it's not working. So when the tower arrives, you kind of waited a bit, maybe a little bit too long. So this is your opportunity from this reading, from these cards, from my interpretation of them. This is your opportunity to look at things that are happening in your life and look at your patterns, look at your situations, and figure out what's not working. And you have that opportunity to make changes before the tower comes crumbling down. It almost seems like regardless, you may be feeling, as a result, a sense of being left out in the cold and taking charge of your own path, simply because what you're choosing for your life, what you're choosing for yourself, seems to be outside the confines of the structures of society, such as the church. So here we have, what is this? The little Visconti Tarot deck. And I could get a couple clarifying cards on this reading. Oh my goodness, it's going to be long. We have the Seven of Cups, we have the Ace of Coins, and whatever that is. Let me just check. Okay. Yes, so we have the Seven of Cups, the Ace of Coins, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Wands. Okay. Seven of Cups can be seen as having many options, so many options. And we don't really know, by looking at all that, sometimes having too many options is a distraction. Sometimes in those cups, options that are being offered to us can be distractions. They can pull us off our focus. They can also be hazardous. Traditionally, there are weird things in the cups, like snakes that might come out and bite you. Surprise! All you can do is figure out what you need with that analysis, and observe the situation from many points of view, right? So if you have all these choices, you're going to have to take a deep, hard look at all of the options before you make your choices, before you make your decisions. But here we have the Ace of Pentacles, which suggests a brand new, stable beginning in material foundation, in material wealth, etc. As I said, with the Page of Pentacles, this is an offer coming in. It could be an offer in love, because the cups here often represent love, romantic partners, but it's also a card associated with emotions, emotional fulfillment. So you're not really sure which of these options is going to bring you emotional fulfillment. Are the options people, suitors, or are they opportunities that are before you? That remains to be seen. You ought to recognize it when you see these opportunities manifest in your life, when you see them presented to you in your life. But this is something stable that can bring you forward. And with the Hierophant here, you have to trust your inner knowing and your understanding. You have to trust that you know what you're doing. You have to trust that the path that you're choosing, the decisions that you're making with this abundance are going to bring you forward to your best opportunities. You may have received this card as confirmation that a situation or project has extreme potential and will reach fruition. If it appears in a spread, it's a very positive sign that things are working out for the highest potential of all involved. It's a very uplifting, light-filled card that brings great harmony, contentment, and positive outcomes. So you have to trust, as the Hierophant does, the spiritual understanding, the trust in the divine, the trust in the divine plan, the trust in Source, that the decisions that you make as you do your analysis, all the information that you have at your disposal as you learn and analyze things for these opportunities is what you need, is what you are meant to have for your understanding, for your knowledge to make these decisions. Trust that making these decisions will bring the potential that you are seeking. Trust that the results are going to be uplifting and bring positive outcomes for all involved. The Knight of Wands suggests that either you can take that wand and run off with enthusiasm once you make your decision, aware that you may encounter some loneliness or a sense of being out in the cold as you move forward. Still have enthusiasm and trust that you know this path is for you. Trust that. When you make a decision, trust in that path until you make your next decision. Have faith and enthusiasm for this path that you're pursuing. However, it could also be the Knight of Wands, somebody else coming in with a lot of passion and enthusiasm for a new venture or new adventure. It could be, if it's a potential love partner, this person could be coming in with that very passionately with Knight of Pentacles, with Knight of Wands energy, and that could be very fast moving energy. That could be sort of that in and out, here today, gone tomorrow kind of energy. So you might be wary of that if it's a romantic offer that's coming towards you, which it may be with that Seven of Cups. That could be many options in love, many suitors. So if you're taking that angle on this reading, then be aware. Otherwise, I would say that do your research, trust your decisions, and move forward knowing that there may be a little bit of struggle and strife here, but it's nothing that you can't handle. That's the weekend reading. That's a lot. Thank you for coming to Compass Starlight.